everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So, we've got to watch and learn, which always poses a little bit of an issue, and we have 2 other quests to do. I guess... Really? How in the world did I even get that? Oh man, I don't even know what to do here. Let's go for 30 minutes, I suppose. Any class. 3 victories. I may just do the watch and learn off screen. Maybe, maybe not. I was approached today, approached by which I mean I logged in today, and they specifically had logged me out, and the newest patch on Hearthstone has gone live, and now you have like a simple approve decline button that shows up on the battle.net authenticator, which, okay, whatever. Let's see, who should I play as? Let's try the druid. So that was a little weird. I hope it doesn't turn out to mean that there was some huge break in security. I doubt it does, because they wouldn't push out the new authenticator thing and at right about the same time a breach in security happened.
Versus
they probably just
Victory or
did something. It kind of sucks, though. I don't want to be logged out on battle.net on my computer, because nobody gets on my computer except for me. So I hate the thought that I click keep me logged in and it doesn't keep me logged in. It had one job to do and it needs to do it. Moving forward from that, today is Amazon Prime Day, and in that there was a Blue Yeti USB microphone that was like $30–40 off, so I decided to get that. It is the middle step I was trying to avoid. I was hoping I could go straight from my microphone to a Blue Yeti Pro with the XLR connection instead of USB. But you know, the signal to noise ratio I have noticed is pretty bad on my recording. I spent yesterday trying to jerry-rig something up, putting blankets and a wall in front of my computer so that the CPU fan and the GPU fan noise wouldn't get to me. And it seemed like after I blocked all of that, after I put it in quiet mode, after I did all of that and did a recording, it's still the signal to noise ratio is about the same. So I suspect what the case is there's simply just like interference in the internal computer, that the CPU, this is kind of hard to explain, but and most people don't know this, the CPU is running electronics through it a lot. That creates a little radio frequency transmission, and that crosstalk radio frequency transmission can go into the digital audio converter that's on the motherboard and thus create noise. And the solution to that was eventually going to be simply
bathe in flame.
I was going to
feel my wrath.
What am I trying to say? I was going to get a soundboard, which then the soundboard would be plugged in through USB.
I have an axe to grind.
Therefore, the soundboard could be very far away from the CPU instead of being mounted right next to it. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. This one. And then end the turn. And then I was going to plug in the Blue Yeti Pro into the soundboard. The advantage there is if I have a good soundboard, I can do equalization on the fly, turn up the bass, turn down the highs, whatever tricks I think I could do that might equalize and improve the quality of my voice as best as I could. I mean, at a certain level, it's not going to get any better, but I can certainly try some things. I wish I had time for this, but I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. This will take this one out. This one will take this one out. This one will take that one out. I guess I could have spared that one and attacked with my face instead. And then the Blue Yeti Pro being a separate thing and just plugging into a soundboard if I wanted to get more microphones, because it would almost certainly be at least a 2-input soundboard, if not 4 or 8. I doubt I'd go up to 16 or anything super high like that. That would probably be too much. Summon 711. Guys. Can he kill this guy?
Behold the rage of the Firelands! For the wilds.
So that's what I was gonna do, but right now I guess since I've done that, we'll just go to USB. Maybe I'll never get the soundboard. Maybe it'll happen 5-10 years down the line. At the end, it's not a huge issue. It would probably be a slight nightmare to try and... Let's see. They killed that guy. I can't believe that happened. It would probably be a mistake to try and have both a USB soundboard and a USB microphone plugged in at the same time and record both. That might work in some software, it might not work in other software. It might just cause trouble in general. More settings that you could potentially mess up. And sadly, soundboards don't have USB inputs. So you can't take a USB microphone, plug it into a soundboard, and then the soundboard understand that and take the audio from it, which I think is probably going to be the next big thing that we see in soundboard equipment. I should have attacked. Then that was a mistake. So yeah, I'll just live with that. The only thing I may have forgotten to get with it is there's a couple things, like I eventually want to try to either move my computer completely out of the room, which is probably never going to happen. That seems unrealistic. Or have like more professional style foam, sound isolation foam, and there's different foam you can certainly go through on this. You can have square foam that you put on the wall. You can have foam that's kind of rounded or in a cube that goes right around the microphone. That might be the best move instead of trying to deal with a room that has to have a computer in it and has to have fans on it. It might just be easier just to have it around the microphone for my purpose of just talking. I could understand why other people's purposes that might not work. I think I've lost.
Another night on the prowl.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do here. As long as this guy has taunt, I need to do 10 damage to him. I was so close to a victory also. So yeah, Prime Day, that was about the only thing I've seen on Prime Day worth anything.
You are
And
weak.
Prime Day seems like it's like last year, mostly just a scam to get people into Amazon Prime. I mean, if you wanted a Kindle, if you wanted an Alexa, this is probably the one day of the year you should get it. But anything above that, I'm gonna lose either way, so I could have 9 damage,
For the wild.
but I might as well just speed up my own loss. That's interesting, there's a bug there. It just said I had 35 attack. I converted the amount of damage I took into an attack. Interesting. So yeah, not a ton of stuff there. That the How Miyazaki collection is on, but these things are like lightning deals, they're 24-hour deals, so if you didn't get it, the day I'm recording, you will never get it.
I must
And
protect
the Hayao Miyazaki collection is something I wanted to get, but it's $142. Not terrible, because you're probably going to get more than 7 movies in that collection, and 7 Blu-rays at about $20 would be $140. You're probably getting more than that by far in a nice collection. So that would certainly be something I would get. When and would I ever have time to watch it? I don't know. Probably not. If I was a rich person, I would probably continue to buy anime just on the thought that I am never gonna watch it. Just like, this is my collection. I just like the art boxes. I don't have time to watch the actual disc. Which is probably really, really stupid. Certainly really, really stupid, but I do it just in the hopes that one day I'd retire and have a ton of free time. I don't know how I could do that. That is an interesting thought. Being a YouTuber, it's like, I don't know how I can retire. What almost certainly would have to happen is people would just stop watching YouTube. That I would have somehow gotten enough to live off, gotten my $1 million to enough to live the rest of my life. People stopped watching my videos, or they stopped making video games. Both are kind of unrealistic that they would happen with such certainty. And then I would just retire, and boy would I be bored, because I do, as much as I complain about it, I do actually enjoy playing games still. This is by far still way better than any other job I've ever had.
Where shall
Do I want charge or taunt? Let's go charge. Let's see what else. Game's done quick, raised over $1 million, it's over. It's alright to watch games done quick for me, but a lot of those games I didn't have an interest in. I didn't really get to see any of them actually play through the game because they do all these exploits. I really would like something that was closer to
I must safeguard.
a speed run, but a no glitch speed run marathon or channel. In fact, I'd prefer it be a channel where they just collect videos or point you towards videos of people that do no glitch speedrun, so I can see the full story, do like a playthrough, do like a playthrough, do like a walkthrough, etc. Instead of being slow about it, they just move a little bit faster. They don't do crazy things. I don't care if they particularly like bunny hop or
Another night on the prowl.
in some way manipulate their body to move slightly faster, but when they're clipping out of sections, when they're cutting cutscenes, when I'm really not seeing. Let's see.
I don't have enough mana. What to do?
Elune, guide my lance.
For the wild.
I'm gonna see if I can get rid of both of these. But yeah, that's what I'd prefer, is actually seeing the whole story. And I don't think I'm really gonna get that, and I don't think it would be the same experience anyways. So I might as well just play the games myself. Although Game 7 Quick is slightly helpful, it does let me see some games I may have missed. Let's see. Just one again. And let's see what else. Prime Day, Game 7 Quick. System Shock has been fully funded. That is good news. And then finally, the Warner Brothers, our friends who always love the Content ID, me, and who do other shady things like release broken games without a care in the world, such as Arkham Knight, have been slapped on the wrist by FTC for paying tens of thousands of dollars to YouTubers, including PewDiePie, to have them play games and say nice things about it. So, I've talked about it a little bit before, but just to reapproach it, the FTC has guidelines in which you have to make it unavoidably obvious that a commercial is a commercial. And that's what they told PewDiePie and the other YouTubers, influencers as they were called, to do, was to put the explanation below the fold, below the read more, on their description box and not mention it anywhere else as their guidance said, which is not acceptable. I've pretty much seen that it needs to be, you need a clear explanation of sponsored content at the beginning. You probably would want sponsored content at the top, and you probably want a message that this was a message was brought to you. Like paid ads, like at the beginning of a paid ad on TV, which I don't, many people watch those, but at the beginning of that, you go, it says the following is a paid presentation. At the end, it said the show was a paid presentation. So beginning and end, they say that. Also, throughout the middle of it, it is obvious in most paid ads that it is a commercial, usually. Now, some of them are a little deceitful. I will not deny that. Let's see. 5 damage. I don't want this guy. Let's play this and hope.
The rage of the fire.
So, the slap on the wrist with Warner Brothers is they were told to do it, to do what they were supposed to do anyways. And if they ever break the rules again, then they could be fined. And so, like, the slappiest on the wrist of slaps on the wrist. Basically. It does hurt me, personally, though, as a YouTuber. You can't deny that I covered Shadows of Mordor, and that's the game that they paid people to say nice things about. I covered it much later, and certainly they didn't give me any money. I've never had any direct contact with them at all, besides Content ID, which is not direct contact.
Let the pain speak to me.
but it hurts because now there's reviews out there that I know about, and now I've jumped into this slightly dangerous position where I could have certainly been swallowed up into that whole mess if I had covered Shadows of Mordor earlier in the timeline. I doubt very many people would assume that I was getting paid so late after it came out because I covered the game like a year after it came out. But that's the kind of mud that once mud starts slinging, it gets everywhere. Like if I go play Counter-Strike Go now, in the back of my head, the Counter-Strike Go gambling stuff is a consideration. It's something I have to think about, and I didn't want to think about it. Speaking of things I didn't want to think about, so I've been watching this new podcast, Kind of Funny Games, and I realized that they were people that used to work for IGN, so I don't know if that means anything.
Bathe in flames.
Yeah, honestly, don't know what
For the wild.
that would mean either way. But they were reviewing one thing, and so one of the guys, they're talking, and one of the guys says, I like this part. The other guy says, I didn't. And then the other guy jokingly says, well, F you. Except for he didn't say F you, he said the real word. And I'm like, what kind of review is this? Is this review by consensus? I mean, are they supposed to sit there and just argue it out? I've never really, as far as I recall, experienced that when listening to Giant Bomb, because I think they only hand any one game to one person. So it is really just this handoff of this person is now going to tell the rest of the group about the game for a really long time, and maybe there's one other person that's playing it on the side and may have something else to add, but I've it's never felt like one person is coming to the table and trying to convince the others to love the game, even when they're doing their silly end of the year stuff. It doesn't feel like that. So that's very strange. And then so I went on to another one of their podcasts about a week later, and it's literally just like review by consensus again. They are literally arguing about it and convincing each other into this group way of thinking for not a great reason. Really, it's just, this is how we want to do it. Let's see. Take control of a random enemy minion.
For the wild. Job's done.
I should have hit this one in the face instead of that one. Come to think of it. So yeah, that's weird, and it probably is the beginning of a great,
Another night on the prowl.
like, reason why I probably won't stick with watching that podcast. I don't know why I'm growing podcasts anyways. I don't have time for it at all. I also watched The Giver on Netflix, didn't have time for that either. I do think, I will say, as a mini movie review, I watched 2 movies actually. The Giver is written better in the movie version than what I recall when I read it. As in a long time ago though. I read it in school probably a really really long time. Like 10 years, 12 years, maybe. There was some elements, some creepy elements that they kind of fixed, and they, in the movie, added a couple of things just to keep it updated, and added some action scenes because it was a really long thinking thing. So if they, but as a movie, it doesn't have enough action. The Giver, the movie, doesn't have enough action to be a movie, but The Giver, the movie as a book would have been probably better than The Giver, the book, which is fun. And then I was very surprised to know that there was like 3 sequels to it, so that's weird too. Like, I imagine The Giver, the movie suffered terribly by starting off in black and white at the beginning. They needed to desperately have at least one scene where you saw
Your soul shall be mine.
where you started off in color, and then it slowly faded out in an obvious way that there wasn't something wrong with the movie, and then I don't know how long people would be willing to live with it being in black and white. Probably not terrible. You'd be really surprised how unwilling people are to do black and white movies. The other movie I watched, which I think was very interesting, although very roughly done too, is a movie on Netflix called Look Who's Back, where Hitler, yes, that Hitler, comes back to 2014. He just magically moves through time to 2014. He's in Germany, and half of the movie feels like they had a comedian dressed up as Hitler and then did interview with random strangers. I'm not sure if any of the interviews or sections were actual random people. In fact, I'm not even sure if any of it was done in Germany. I was really trying to figure out how they even got away with that much.
I don't have enough mana.
But it seems like, it kind of feels like it is in Germany, which usually the anti-Nazis propaganda laws are so tight, I wouldn't think you'd be able to make the movie. But the main gist of the movie is this wimpy, silly film director finds this Hitler, thinks he's just a comedian and actor, and follows him around, films him, helps him gain popularity, and
Get it out!
and Hitler is just being Hitler. He's trying to restore Germany to its former glory in his mind, and it does try to touch a little bit on the migrant crisis that's affecting all of Europe, and lead was a significant factor into the lead of the Brexit vote. And it kind of touched upon it, but not really. It touched upon it in that it said it existed, but not how not really suggesting or explaining it. Oddly, the Hitler in this movie doesn't really go into politics at all, in the sense that he doesn't run for politics. My assumption is that he would start by being a popular TV comedian version of Hitler and author and all of that, then work his way up to it. And that was kind of the main theme, is that if Hitler came back, he could probably convince the German people to elect him again, which isn't completely impossible. But, so I thought it was a funny, slightly interesting thing. There's a point where he kicks and shoots a dog that I think is about the funniest scene there because he's never played sympathetic. He's played as the nastiest, meanest person that you could imagine, and all the young people of Germany just think he's a comedian and don't even. I mean, well, if something similar happened to me, my first thought wouldn't be that he magically came from the past.
For the wild.
So yeah, that was the other thing I watched, wasting time, but I'm still having a lot of trouble trying to figure out scheduling. I wake up in the morning, I don't want to start recording immediately and sound awful. I record too late in the evening, and then sometimes my recordings are just like blah. I'm recording right now Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, and that is its own issue because it's just a really long game. Attack.
Job's done.
And so it's a long puzzle game where there isn't a lot to say, so I'm getting really quiet in between them. I'm almost finished with it. This puzzle game may take an entire month of airing, which is fine. That should bump up hopefully really nicely with the October Halloween month scheduling. And then that will just give me more time to record the next thing I need to record, which is probably some... If I could just get something with charge to as of deal 4 damage to himself. This guy has 4. Let's do this.
The ancient curse.
Have enough mana.
There we go. So the only game I played before Heroes Might Magic Clash of Heroes, because there's a game called Heroes of Might and Magic, and that's completely different, was 10 million. Pretty caught up on paperwork right now, because Might and Magic obviously needs to be finished before I start recording, start doing the... Yeah, I don't think I save. I don't think I win here.
I don't have enough mana.
So, yep.
Well played.
So in 30 minutes I've managed not to get anything done. Let's think here. I'm trying to rack my brain. Sadly, I don't think there's anything more to talk about. So, what to do? Let's open the packs, and so to open the packs, let's do the watch and learn. And so, open up this, turn down the audio. We'll bring up, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did hack my phone in a little custom mod in how much it's amped, so it would be rather loud, and my ear cleaning has now been perfectly successful. I hope I didn't lose some small amount of hearing every time that happens, but who knows. Solo adventures. What does this say? Watch a friend win in spectator mode. If I do practice, expert, normal, choose shaman, choose mage, whatever. What's this one? Recruit a friend. Invite friends to play Hearthstone with you. That's new. I'm waiting for this game to start so I could spectate it. Practicing against the innkeeper. So does this not allow me to... I guess I can't watch and learn this. Alright, so... concede that battle. Yeah, I'm not doing anything on the screen. The setup here for the watch and learn is awful. And nobody's playing. Overwatch has a new character that they've announced, a sniper support class. I'm sure that'll be as popular as the rest of them. Let's see. Play casual. Wait for an opponent. Yeah. I don't know. Eventually we may just have to quit doing Hearthstone in general. It may just get down to that. I could imagine playing some more medium-sized games or large games in this time slot if I got really far ahead. And of course, the reason I'd have to do that is simply because I'm amazed I got 2 watch and learns. I didn't even think you could do that. Let's see. I'm in the battle now. Let's see. Allow my friends to spectate. That's an option. Wow, maybe they've done some kind of update or something, because I can't spectate my own guy. Maybe they figured out that this is an alternate account, and because of that, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. This is an interesting turn of events, and I'm probably just gonna have to wrap up here and say that's it. Maybe because the cell phone version hasn't updated, or maybe because it's gotten separated. I mean, I'm trying here to play on casual, and I don't even know if I'm in standard or wild mode. That certainly would have had to been updated, wouldn't it? Both of these are checked on both things. And I just can't do it. I can't spectate. This is crazy. Haven't gotten any friend requests, or maybe people can just friend me without asking. I don't know. Well, that is weird. So now I've got this like ridiculous issue in which I'm gonna have to wait till somebody else is playing online to get the watch and learns, which may mean this is the end. This may very well be the end of this series, because if I can't like get anybody to watch and learn, oh look, it changed. This game is bugged like crazy. So yeah, I'm looking here and we're playing standard. I don't even think you can play wild. Apparently I can't. Like on the screen on the cell phone version, you doesn't seem like you can even play wild right now. Maybe that's because my account is so new and it hasn't even unlocked all the cards for all the basic classes. That would make sense. But so we've been sitting here for a long time and there's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing to talk about, so I can't really make another recording, so I'm just gonna play off screen. Like, here's this one, I'm back in another battle, and I just can't spectate. Something crazy is going on here. Anywho, that's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.